Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from Vox. This was published on May 8th. It's written by Ian Millhiser. It just goes to show how people on the left and the Democrats are upset that Republicans aren't going to let them bend the fucking rules with voting so that they can get away with unprecedented fucking shit. Oh, excuse me. And they're spurging out about it. If you look up at the top here, okay, the title was the original, like the title bar up here. This was the original title of the article. Republicans have a 20 million war chest to fight voting rights in 2020. They had to change the title, and Vox, being the dishonest shits that they are, changed it, but didn't realize that maybe they should change the title bar of the browser window. Good job, dipshits. So let's look at the title they changed it to. Republicans plan to spend at least $20 million to combat voting rights lawsuits in 2020. So basically, all the Democrats going, yeah, we want the rules changed, even though the law says this. We want special considerations to be like ruled on and basically made so that, you know, we can get away with like stuffing ballot boxes and shit and collecting ballots, mail-in ballots, and getting rid of the ones that would most likely vote Republican and add ones in that would be illegitimate ones and not have people realize we're doing it. That's what they want to do. And the Republicans are like, no, fuck you. The GOP just upped its legal budget for the 2020 election to $20 million. Because they know that you people are going to push this shit. You idiots on the left, because you got like, oh, blacks are too stupid to be able to get to the DMV to get an ID. So we can't have people showing IDs at voting booths. This is the type of mentality of the left. Hispanics and blacks are seen that way too, where they're too stupid to go to the DMV to get a fucking ID. I mean, shit, illegals manage to fucking be able to do it in California and New York and shit, but hey, legitimate voting Hispanics and blacks, they're just too fucking stupid. At least according to the Democrats and the left. Anyway, the Republican National Committee and President Donald Trump's re-election campaign have doubled their litigation budget to $20 million, Politico reported Thursday. RNC Chief of Staff Richard Walters told Politico that the GOP is prepared to sue Democrats into oblivion by spending whatever is necessary to prevail in legal fights against its rivals leading up to the November election. You mean basically they're willing to spend the money and put the time in to stop the Democrats from bending and breaking the fucking rules? Sounds good to me. As the Politico report made clear, Republicans expected to vote much of this legal war chest to litigation over whether Americans should be able to vote from their home during a pandemic that could make it unsafe for them to cast in-person ballots at the polls this November. Actually, no. What they're going to be doing is this broadening of massive expansion of mail-in ballots that they want to do. They want to say, hey, no, because there's a certain things need to be followed. All right. And like signing an affidavit and shit like that is one of those things that a lot of states have with like mail-in ballots and shit. They don't want that. They want like basically if you ask for a ballot, you get a fucking ballot type shit without even having to prove who the fuck you are. High-level Republicans have resisted efforts to expand voters' ability to submit mail-in ballots, likely because higher voter turnout is widely believed to benefit Democrats. No, it's not about wider voter turnout. It's about how dishonest and sleazy and disgusting you're going to be because you guys got caught in fucking California collecting fucking ballots and being fucking shady with them. We don't trust you. And I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about Americans. We don't fucking trust you. Unless we're Kool-Aid drinking dipshits or Trump deranged spurgs who just don't care. All right? We don't fucking trust you. And then you got a tweet here from Trump. Republicans should fight very hard when it comes to statewide mail-in voting. Democrats are clamoring for it. Tremendous potential for voter fraud. And for whatever reason, doesn't work out well for Republicans. Yes, because of the fact of the voter fucking fraud. Because of the fact that you have these people going around, okay, who are Democrat activists, collecting fucking ballots. And anyone that they think is voting for anyone other than their fucking party, okay, they're destroying the ballots. This was the shit that was going on in fucking California. Come on now. Fucking ridiculous. You actually think that you're going to try to portray this as, oh, we're innocent. We ain't going to do anything fucking shady. Fuck you, you're not. Last month, the country got a preview of what these legal battles over voting rights during a pandemic could look like. On April 7, Wisconsin held a primary election that included a hotly contested race for a seat on the state Supreme Court. Because of the Wu-flu pandemic, Wisconsin was inundated with requests for absentee ballots, receiving approximately 1.2 million requests when it typically sees fewer than 250,000 in a spring election. And that was their own stupidity. They should have realized with the current pandemic, they should have been prepared for additional mail-in ballots. Don't try to make it like, oh, they weren't expecting it. They should have expected it. They are public fucking officials. They should have realized what was going on and have been prepared. That left election officials scrambling to send ballots to voters fast enough so they could submit them in time, which they managed to do. So it shouldn't have been an issue. To help ensure that no voter would be disenfranchised because of a paperwork crisis sparked by an even greater public health crisis, a lower court judge ordered the state to accept any ballot it received before 4 p.m. on April 13. But the RNC disagreed with the order and successfully convinced the Supreme Court's Republican majority to roll most of it back. Under the court's party line decision, Republican National Committee versus Democratic National Committee, any ballots not postmarked by April 7th were tossed out. Okay. So hold on here. Postmarked April 7th, which means they could take 3 days, 4 days. So they would have had April, basically the same fucking date. See, this is what's messed up. All right. It could take, especially with the fact of how many mail-in ballots, as long as they were postmarked by April 7th, they were accepted because they were postmarked. They were taken in by the deadline. That's the whole idea of postmark. That's one of the reasons why we have, like, things go by postmarks. If something's postmarked by this date, they accept it. They literally want them to be able to receive before 4 p.m. on April 13th. What they wanted is to people to fucking be able to walk their fucking ballots in, or these Democratic fucking activists being able to walk these fucking ballots in and just drop them on the fucking table. Whereas the ruling said, no. It has to be postmarked. It actually has to go through the fucking mail, and it has to have this date on it. Because if they had it by that, if it's postmarked by that date, it could come in up to the 13th. I mean, come on now. How stupid do you think people are here? This is ridiculous. Because of the decision, it is likely that thousands of voters were disenfranchised. No, it doesn't. How the hell does that mean that? Everyone had a fucking standard to meet. Okay, just because they didn't get their shit postmarked by the fucking date they needed to get postmarked. All right, that isn't being disenfranchised. That's their own fucking problem. That's their own inability to be able to say, well, shit. Okay, I want my vote to be counted. I need to get it in by this date. You people are pathetic. You people on the left, oh, well, they were disenfranchised. No, they weren't. If they didn't get their vote in by that postmarked date and had to mail it, and instead of having some fucking Democrat activist pick it up and then go, oh, well, this guy votes a Republican. I'm going to looks like he'll vote for Republican. I'm going to toss this. Instead of that happening, all right, and they didn't get it postmarked, that's on them for not getting it postmarked. Oh, my God. And then I love this. They actually try to say, oh, well, these people who tested positive, they got it because they voted when there's no proof. And then they admit that there's no proof. Meanwhile, dozens of people tested positive for Wu-flu after casting in-person ballots in Wisconsin or working at the polls, though it should be noted that there is no way to know how many of them contracted the disease because they were forced to vote in person. They could have, oh my God, they could have chose a non-busy time. They could, hey, they could have wore a mask. They could have done something. And this idea of, well, they all could have, oh, well, look at this. We don't know how many got infected, but we believe it was all of them. I mean, that's what you're kind of implying here with this. Despite those obstacles for voters, which the GOP fought all the way to the high court in order to preserve them, Obstacles to voters? So wait a minute. Basically saying the normal date that you would have to get your fucking mail-in ballot in is a fucking obstacle for voters if they choose to mail in their ballot and they're too fucking lazy, stupid, or ignorant to get their ballot in before that postmarked date? Or by that postmarked date? That's an obstacle? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow, they really want to rewrite fucking history. They want to make it sound like we're like, you know, a third world fucking tin pot dictatorship type of fucking situation with people voting and voter suppression. In every fucking developed nation, you need to show a fucking ID. But here in the United States, that's racist. Expecting people to have their shit turned in by the postmarked date. Oh, that's racist and voter disenfranchisement. Come on now. I mean, this is ridiculous. But anyway, so in order to preserve them, the liberal challenger for the state Supreme Court seat wound up defeating the conservative incumbent by a wide margin. So wait a minute, you actually got what you fucking wanted and you're still gonna bitch. Typical fucking lefty. Wisconsin election laws are admittedly friendlier when it comes to absentee ballots compared to with many other states. In Texas, for example, voters over the age of 65 may obtain an absentee ballot simply by asking for one, but younger voters may obtain a ballot only by a limited list of reasons. Yeah, which is reasonable. And it is far from clear that the Wu flu pandemic is a sufficient reason to vote absentee under Texas law. Yeah, so what? Deal with it. Younger people aren't really at that high a risk, but hey, whatever. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, a Republican, is fighting hard in court to prevent younger voters from qualifying for an absentee ballot. Historically, older voters are more likely to favor Republican candidates over Democrats. If Paxton succeeds in his efforts, millions of Texans could potentially be disenfranchised. Or they could go and fucking vote, put on a fucking mask and go and vote. They'll go to fucking Walmart. They'll go to the fucking local fast food joint. They'll go to the local fucking pizza shop or sub shop, all right, to pick up shit. They can't go to fucking vote. They'll go out and do stupid fucking shit right now, but they can't fucking go out to vote. Fuck you. You got people right now that aren't following the orders and shit like that are doing their own fucking thing. And it's the youngest people that are the biggest fucking problem with that. All right? But you're going, oh, you know, you tried to blame boomers for that shit. But boomers are the ones going, well, fuck, I could get sick and possibly fucking die. It's the young people that are going out, okay? Going, fuck grandma. If they can go out and say, fuck grandma, then they can go and fucking vote. Don't even. You people are disgusting. This idea of millions of Texans could be potentially disenfranchised. They're going out and doing fucking shit. These people that you're thinking are going to get fucking mail-in ballots. What the fuck are you talking about? In other words, it is likely that the question of whether millions of voters can cast a ballot this November will be decided by courts, and the Republican Party plans to spend lavishly to shape those decisions. So basically, you know, all these young people are going, fuck grandma right now. They can't go out to vote, so they're going to need a mail-in ballot when they don't vote in the first place in most cases. This makes absolutely no fucking sense unless you're planning on getting their ballots and voting for them. Anyway, I mean, this is some ridiculous shit. Expecting, like, special fucking treatment, all right, because this was, like, this whole thing here. Where, you know, postmarked by April 7th or April 13th, okay? Basically, the postmarked was like, give it a chain of custody. They wanted it so it could just be dropped off. That should tell you a lot with what's going on here. They're planning on being fucking shady. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.